Good morning. All right, I'm back with more lessons from the Camino. This is like pre-Camino lessons. As I said on my last video, the journey starts as soon as you say yes. So the journey began back in January. And so I'm on another training hike today. It's like an incredible, it was 59 degrees when I got up. So it was so perfect because that's what it looks like, I think, the weather might be on the Camino journey, starting out early in the morning and then warming up into the 70s. So I feel like I've been given this little gift of getting to practice with what's going on, the conditions that'll be similar, possibly, because you never know how climate is, of course. It could be colder, it could be hotter. Anyways, wearing my hiking pants, got my hiking gear on, testing things out, which clothes do I like or not like, what's comfortable. But today I added a new piece, kind of the second time I've done it, which is my hiking poles. So we're doing a segment of the Camino that Camino Frances in September, and there's a part where we're going to be going over the third highest mountain on the Camino Frances, and just general ups and downs. Hiking poles can be really useful. Save a lot on your knees, on my back, all of the stuff, right? And never used hiking poles before, or I think I used one one time in Yosemite. But I was just thinking about how it's very similar. There's so many lessons that apply to our life and to business. So about 2 weeks ago, I tested out my hiking poles. But what I did first was, of course, I watched a couple videos on YouTube. And I talked to a couple people who use hiking poles and just got the general gist. How do you set them up? How do I use the equipment? How do I collapse them? How do I unfold them? How do I find the right height? So I could do all that from the comfort of my own home, right? So that was easy. Then I went on one of my hikes and brought my poles, and oh my gosh, it was so awkward. It was so awkward. I felt like some kindergartner who's got sticks and he's using them as swords, kind of thing. I just felt like they were clacking around. I couldn't get my rhythm with my feet. I couldn't figure out. It just felt so awkward. About halfway through, I just stopped and collapsed them down and just carried them. The next lesson will be to figure out how to attach them to my backpack, but we'll do that next time. So this time I went and did the poles, and it was a little bit easier, right? It was like, oh, okay, I kind of got a little swing going. I kind of am figuring out. It's like I'm not having to focus so hard. And then my son called me. Hey, Sam, from New York City. He likes to call in the morning sometimes when he's walking to the train. And so we had a 10, 15-minute conversation, and I totally forgot I was using my poles. And so it just became unconscious. So it's that whole thing of going from conscious incompetence to, I always get them mixed up when I start saying them, to unconscious competence. And there's a whole path that you go through. There's like 4 different steps. So I'm not quite there at the unconscious competence, but I was for a few minutes, right? And it, with practice, it gets easier and easier. So the same lesson applies to anything that's in our life, right? Thinking of with our businesses, when you're doing video, at first it feels so awkward. You're trying to find the right lighting. You're trying to figure out a good spot in your house. Where's your, little zone, video zone where it has a good background. It feels awkward to talk to what seems like nobody, that kind of thing. When in fact you're talking to possibly anybody or everybody. All the things when you write a newsletter, each step just feels awkward, right? And you're in that conscious, incompetent, you feel like you're tripping over yourself. And then the more you do it, there's certain steps that you don't even think about anymore. And next thing you know, you're in that it becomes easy, or at least it becomes more, you become more confident, and you don't have to think about every single teeny little step or swing of your arms or pressing play on the video. So that's my lesson today. I'll give you a nice view of the Chesapeake Bay out there. Yes, I am aware that I'm using poles in the flatlands of the ocean, where we have 0 elevation. So there's a few hills and bridges and things like that I practice on as well. So I know I'm going to be in for a rude awakening when there's actual mountains and real hills and things like that. But I've done the other things, but that'll be another video we'll talk about. So I hope you're having a beautiful day today, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.